Good morning. Today is day 38 of moving mountains beneath my feet. And today, I feel super excited. Today's going to be a good day. And it started yesterday. You know, when you I started to think about things that I really wanted to see happen in my life. You know, I went from this really hard, dark place where I lost everything to this place of, blank slate possibilities, to then really thinking about some of the things I want to manifest and create in my life. And it just came to me, right? I just, feeling out, thinking about what I want and just writing those things out. I decided to record those things in audio form. And then I put this meditative sound behind it, and I've just been listening to it, right? And I said it, and I'm following the advice of it's actually a mixture of different people, but Bob Proctor, which is one of my favorite speakers and teachers of all time. He passed away a little while ago, and I got to actually speak to him, and he got to speak into my life, which is so amazing. And Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks. And so he likes to say, when you write affirmations or things that you want, let me get into that real quick. So first of all, I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll explain why. So I am so happy and grateful now that, right? I am so happy and grateful now that this thing is in the present tense, like it actually exists in my life. And the reason for that, right? I'm going to get a little woo-woo here, but I am woo-woo. I am spiritual, and I've followed these kind of teachings for a long time, and I have known them to work in my life. But the reason is that you have, and there's a practical reason too. You have, I believe it was 70,000 thoughts a day, right? You're having 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of those thoughts, 95% of those thoughts, or 98% of those thoughts, I don't remember which statistic, pick one, are the same thoughts that you had yesterday. And so if you're having the same thoughts, and think about it, 70,000 thoughts, that's a lot of thoughts. Can you count 70,000 thoughts? No, most of them are subconscious. Most of them are pre-programmed. Most of them are just on repeat. So you've got this program that's on repeat every single day of your life. And so, excuse me, burp. You have this program on repeat, and it's generating the same thoughts every single day, subconscious patterns, programs. You're replaying things in your head, and those thoughts lead to similar emotions. Those similar emotions lead to similar actions, similar feelings, similar outcomes. And so, this trick that I feel that they figured out is, affirmations have been a weird thing for me because, I love affirmations. I do affirmations, and then sometimes I don't want anything to do with affirmations because I'm so sick of speaking affirmations and them not happening, or, being let down or disappointed and this shit doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. Right? And that's really has to do with the state that I'm in, right? The state that I'm in when I'm saying them, the state that I'm in when I'm reading them, the state that I'm in when I'm writing them, the emotional state, right? And it really comes down to, for me, can you visualize? Can you envision? Can you see that thing that you want? Can you imagine? Can you feel that emotion, right? So one big thing for me is I want my daughters here in Puerto Rico with me, and I want them to experience this magical place. I want them to explore our roots because we are Puerto Rican. I want them to see the way that people live here. And, I can really, imagine that. I can imagine the kids that they would play with. I can imagine the places we would go. I can imagine their smiles. I can imagine holding them. And so for me, this visual, this emotional thing for me is something that I can really, really feel prior to it existing. And it's just wild, right? when you can do that, you can feel the emotions before that thing happens. It becomes much easier to create that thing in your life. You can draw that thing into your life. And so, I mean, I feel like I'm not hitting the nail on the head like I want to, but it comes down to speaking in the present tense as if this thing already exists. It comes down to feeling that emotion, like getting into that emotion, right? And so sometimes we might be being too specific. We might be too specific, like, oh, I want to manifest this specific amount of money, whatever. But your bank account disagrees with you, right? Or your current circumstances, your current, business model, or your economic machine, the mechanism for how you receive money doesn't line up with that number that you want. And so we introduce a lot of resistance. And so we're saying we want this thing, but in reality, how are you feeling about it? And you're not really feeling it. You're feeling the opposite. You're feeling resistance. You're feeling scarcity. And that is probably, oh shit, I stepped in mud. That is probably the hardest part, right? Is being in resistance to what you want. Not allowing what you want, not allowing yourself to feel the emotions of what you want prior to having it. And so being able to suspend your current reality to create your next reality, right? That's the thing, is like, can you suspend how life looks and imagine something better? Can you truly imagine it? Can you truly envision and feel that thing? And I do believe every time I've been able to do that, I've been able to manifest things so fast, right? And it's like I've gotten away from that. I've gotten so far away from that because I've been jaded by disappointment, been jaded by wanting things and introducing resistance at the same time, or allowing fear to dictate my emotions around something. And so it takes an allowing, it takes a surrender to actually believe in what you want. And that is hard. That is not easy to do. And I can't give you the answers as far as, in less than 10 minutes. I just know that for me, there are things that are becoming much more clear for me as far as what matters to me versus what I've been chasing for a long time. I wrote down these core desires, these core things that I really want in my life. And surprisingly enough, money was not in that top list. And money has always been in that top list. Like a super abundance of money has always been in my list. And this time it wasn't. But other parts of my desires, assumed and included having abundance, right? And so it just seemed interesting to me that this time it didn't come up, and I'm more generic in general, and there's not as much resistance because there's not a specific number, right, on this request, right? And so back to my recording, I recorded it, I'm listening to it, I wake up at like 3 a.m. and I'm just like, let me play this shit. I play it in my ears, and let me tell you, like, I just feel fantastic. I feel like something is unlocked inside, and that I'm able to really feel these things that I want, and I'm drawing them in. I can feel that magnetic pull, that some of these things are already starting to move into motion, right? And so I spoke about the thing with my daughters. That looks like that's going to be a possibility soon here. And I'm so excited. Today's going to be, again, like I said, today's going to be an amazing day. This is what I wanted to share with you. It really, it's such a crazy transformation in 38 days, like how you can wake up one day and not want anything to do with life, want to hide in a hole, to now waking up with this deep, burning excitement for the day and what's going to happen, what my possibilities are. It really, I'm very proud of myself, and I hope that what I've been sharing is going to help somebody. It's going to help somebody to understand and see that anything is possible inside a very short span of time. Even though I don't have all the things that I want in my life, I know that they are for me, and I know that they're coming. And I can tap into that emotion, and that's what really, really matters. And so I'm at my time. I hope you have a blessed and magnificent, wonderful day today. Thank you for spending time and listening.